Not until he saw the gang boss bow down to the man did the bully. He had just been wantonly harassing the man's daughter. He froze in utter terror. Just a moment ago, the bully demanded an exorbitant stall fee from the man, even threatening to expel his daughter from school if he refused to pay up. The man hurried forward to mediate, but was suddenly slapped hard across the face by the bully. Seeing this, the man's daughter hastily begged for mercy for her father, yet the bully flew into a rage and raised his hand to hit the little girl. Reacting in the blink of an eye, the man knocked the bully to the ground with one punch. The bully's underlings swarmed in at once, trying to teach the man a lesson. They were taken down by him in just a few moves. Furious, the bully pulled out his phone and called his boss. He was the gang leader. Moments later, the gang boss arrived in a hurry with a group of his men, terrified that something would happen to her father. The man's daughter knelt before the gang boss, pleading desperately for mercy. The bully watched coldly from the side, sneering mockingly at the girl for being weak-kneed and spineless. But in the next second, the smile froze on his face. The gang boss, along with all his men, knelt down before the man in unison and respectfully called out, "Brother Long." Unwilling to give up, the bully scoffed loudly, claiming the man was just a street vendor selling fried noodles. He added that the man was probably kneeling to the boss to put on an act. He could not finish his words. The gang boss slapped him hard across the face. Dazed by the blow, the bully was still trying to figure out what was going on when the man spoke slowly. He announced that he was none other than Cross River Dragon. His words struck like a thunderclap. The bully was scared out of his wits and turned to run. He was pinned down on the spot by the gang members who had surrounded them in advance. Overwhelmed by extreme fear, the bully wet his pants. The man glanced at him and said calmly, "Let him go," thinking he'd escape with his life. The bully breathed a sigh of relief, but his legs gave way, and he collapsed to the ground, unable even to stand, let alone walk.
Until the moment when his daughter was bullied by a bully, the man decided to no longer hide his identity as the river-crossing dragon. Surrounded by various big shots, he directly found a good job for the bully, raising penguins in Antarctica. However, just a few days later, the man got into trouble for using a wine bottle to mix vegetables due to his identity being exposed. The man who was cooking at home that day suddenly received a message from his daughter asking him to dress up elegantly and come to the restaurant for dinner. This made the man immediately realize that someone wanted to use his daughter, whom he hadn't seen for many years, to get close to him. At the dinner party, the scheming men kept boasting about their power and influence, and said that they would help the girl in the future, only asking the girl to let them meet their famous father. And in the next moment, the man arrived dressed in a chef's uniform. It was because he knew that in order to expose the hypocrisy of the few people, he had to first make them underestimate him. As expected, the man's appearance immediately drew a hint of contempt from the scheming man, which made his daughter very angry. She scolded her father for embarrassing her, because she had seen how imposing her father was when dealing with bullies. Seeing that the scheming man was somewhat angry, she hurriedly explained to him that her father was not usually like this. However, the man still deliberately showed weakness towards the scheming men. He claimed that his reputation as the river-crossing dragon was merely a flattery from others, and that his story of defeating 100 foes was all fake. He even allowed the scheming men to insult him and allowed the scheming woman to post online to expose his cowardice. When the man tried to leave, the scheming man suddenly got a big idea. He sneered and said that since the man was a chef, he might as well use a wine bottle to make him a dish. The man readily agreed and began to prepare the ingredients. At this moment, the scheming man asked the group smugly, "Do you know what this dish is for?" As he instructed the scheming woman to take out her phone to record, he picked up a bottle of wine and prepared to smash it on the man's head, hoping to make himself famous. At this point, the daughter was completely panicked. She finally realized that the scheming man had been using her from start to finish. At the moment when the bottle was about to fall, the man blocked it and hit the scheming man on the head. In the next moment, the man's subordinates arrived at the scene, accompanied by the scheming man's family elders.
A small tile required 4 strong men to lift, leaving the young man puzzled. "Can't I just lift this with one hand?" he thought. To everyone's shock, he easily picked it up with one hand.